I reverse engineer my product and also my marketing from there. So if I know that my ideal client is going to be able to spend $300 a month on me, well, they're probably going to have some type of affluency, maybe be a little bit older, not necessarily, but in general, be a little bit older. And then those people, what you have to think about, what keeps those people up at night? What are their worries? What do they want to accomplish? What are they thinking about? Where do they go and shop? Where are the places they like to be at? Like all this kind of stuff goes into creating this ideal demographic. But the ideal thing with the target market is you have to be able to figure out who's the client I'm chasing, what do they look like, what are all these attributes of them, and then that is how I'm going to reverse engineer my product and my marketing from there. So it's huge to be able to envision and imagine who your ideal client is. The next thing, the fourth step we're going to go over is programming. This is a little hard on this TV screen. I don't need to go over programming with you guys. All you guys know how to program. I don't need to teach you guys how to do a lunge or an RDL or a squat, whatever it is. But the only thing I want to get across this, because I made this mistake a lot of times, and for me it really inhibits being able to grow your business, is we used to write every single client an individualized program from zero. How do you guys do and believe in? And if you believe in that, I have no problem with that. But what we noticed is when we were writing these programs, like 90% of the stuff we were writing for everybody was very similar. Like most of our clients come in anyways, have weak glutes, have lack of T-spine mobility, they're rounded, they're at the computer all day, like they need core strength, they need glute strength. So what we ended up doing is just developing a templated system. And I can go over it more in depth and send you guys if you want to talk more about it. But again, I won't spend too much time programming with you guys. But basically, we just have these 5 boxes here. We have our core, our power, our strength, our heavy carry, and our metabolic kind of finisher work. And what we do is just have, this will probably seem way more complicated than it is. It's not too hard. But we have 6 different exercise variations for each box. And then all we do is my operations manager at the end of the week just does a random number generator and draws the number for that box. So she might draw like number 6 core, number 4 power, number 3 strength, number 2 carry, number 1 metabolic, and that's our template for Monday. And then she does the same thing for Tuesday, same thing for Wednesday, same thing for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we have, the workouts are different every day, even though it's kind of with all in the same scope of everything. But for us, going to a templated system saved us so much more time, because all we do is change these exercises in these boxes, the 6 boxes, like every 3 months. So we spend maybe an hour every 3 months on our programming versus having to write every single client. In my opinion, once you get above about 60 or 70 clients, it's really hard to write everybody individualized programs, and you just end up writing the same stuff anyways. So how do we individualize that to the client so they don't think that it's just a group workout? Is we have note cards with their FMS, their screening stuff we did, their goals, and so our coaches are able to adapt their note card and their individual stuff to this template, but they're all running the same place, so that if I know, I can also control that, because I want all my clients to be able to train with different coaches. I don't want them to all train with one single coach, because then if that coach leaves, my business is screwed. 20 people go with him, right? So it has to be repeatable, and they have to be able to run the same play, and there can't be a difference between all these different coaches. So this is where this comes into play, where everybody's running off the same template. So
real quick, so if you have 6 different exercises within each category, do each of those exercises have a scalability hierarchy? Or
yeah, usually we'll have like a 2 up, 2 down, like 2 regression, 2 progression thing. We'll have that sheet so people can see, like, hey, if they can't do the RDL, here's a progression off that, here's a regression. We also have these fallback options at the bottom for the strength portion, that if like somebody's brand new, can't do anything, they just go to these fallback options. And what we actually do too, which some guys at TPI might disagree with, we actually have a templated system for our golfers as well. I mean, if it's a pro guy or a mini tour guy, those guys are different. We're going to screen them. They're going to train one-on-one. They're going to have periodization. But our general, like, weekend warrior golfer who wants to hit the ball 20 yards farther and get better posture, better T-spine mobility, they fall perfectly within these templates as well. And the biggest thing is our clients don't even know it's a template. They think it's an individualized program, but we're not spending 20 hours a week writing an individualized program for every single person.
One great way of kind of, if they do realize that they're in a template, I promote the Load Explode, which is obviously a template because it's a video. Everybody does the exact same program. I always say that when I was individually customizing the workouts for every single person, I found there was 80% of the exercises prescribed were the same for everybody. And they also took care of 80% of their needs.
Exactly.
So if we prescribe this and we make it maybe a couple little changes for the last 20%, but for 80% of the people, this is exactly what they need anyways. So it works. And if you need something specific, we can adjust that template and make it customized for you. But trust me, this recipe works.
Yep.
If we knew how to make spaghetti sauce, and it was mama's recipe, you don't mess with it. But someone comes in, they go, I really like spaghetti sauce, but I like it a little spicier. You put some hot chilies in there. You know, you customize it for that person, but the base is the same, it never changes.
Yep.
If you give them those kind of like examples, they're all in on your templates.
Yep, and that's a great point, and that's kind of where our note cards come into play, where you can individualize that last 10 to 20% of it, so that people think it's different. But again, 80%, this works for 80-90% of the people. So, the last part of the 5 steps is retention, and retention to me is always really funny because like I swear every gym owner and coach that I consult with is like, oh yeah, our retention's like 99%. We never lose clients. Like it's always good. I'm like, I'm really impressed by that because we do have we have to work constantly on our retention to make sure these people are coming back. So for us, retention is just like lead generation, anything else. We have to spend a lot of time working on it. Maybe some of you are lucky, maybe you don't. Maybe your clients never leave. That may happen. We have obviously some clients that happens with, but in general, we still have to work on retention. It's a big tool that we have to work to make sure that the growth of the business is where it needs to be, right? So what we're looking for is just 3% attrition per month. So if I have 100 clients, so we have about 200 clients at the gym I have in Kirkland right now. So I know that on an average monthly basis, if I have 200 clients, I'm going to lose 6 of them probably on an average month. If I have 100 clients, I'm going to lose 3. So that's where that 3% attrition is built in. People moving, somebody gets injured, whatever happens, you can build in 3% attrition per month into your retention. Some people might be a little bit less than that, but if you're starting to get up like 5-6%, then you're going to start having some issues. So a good goal to have a good KPI to track is 3% attrition per month. So again, if I have 100 clients, did I lose 3 or less clients this month, right? So pretty straightforward with that. And again, maybe some of you guys don't have that problem. I'm impressed people that don't, but for us, like retention's an issue sometimes, and we have to work on it just like everybody else. And I'm amazed by the people that say that they have like 100% retention because I think that's really, really hard to do, but maybe that's just me. So again, I don't like a lot of slides with text on it, but I do want to show you guys this real quick. This is like our retention plan. These are the 6 things that we do if retention starts to become an issue with somebody, or just stuff that we're proactively doing for retention. So the first is kind of what we've already alluded to, is we send out an email every Monday that's a content email. That's going to go to our whole list. It's going to be either an exercise, a recipe, success story, whatever it is. We intermix those week to week, but everybody gets an email every Monday that's going to be some type of content just to provide value to them. We have the closed group. The closed group on Facebook is super important. The reason being is because Facebook's gotten so crazy with their algorithms and marketing now that if you post without boosting a post, it's going to get to like 3% of your people. If you have a closed group, everybody in that closed group sees the post no matter what. You don't have to pay for it. Everybody sees it. It's visible to everybody. So the closed group is very powerful to market and keep people engaged within your client group. It's not great for new client acquisition, but it's great for keeping your own people in kind of a closed group, being able to talk to them, communicate with them, work on retention. So we're always posting stuff in our closed group 3 times a week. Usually we like invitation to events we're running, fitness tips, recipes, special offers, like, hey, we got 20% off of our .fit stuff this week, whatever it is. But all that stuff's done in the closed group. The other thing that's done with that, which is kind of funny, is like, be like, hey, we're closed today. That's something you post in your closed group. You don't want to post on your Facebook. We'll be like, hey, coach is sick. We had to close today, or whatever. You know what it is. Like, this is stuff that's updates for your members, stuff that you never post in your public Facebook page. It's got to be in your closed group. We do start using a text app quite a bit now. Like I said,